What's up, guys? It's Mike back with another video. Like I said in my previous video, was my intention, it is my intention moving forward in 2022 to start making more original content rather than just doing live streams every week. I mean, I love doing the live streams, but I feel like I need to mix things up a little bit, and there's just times when, with work and with being in the UK, and obviously a lot of people who join the live streams are in the US, so it's difficult for me because obviously I'm going live at like midnight, which is, I can do it on a Tuesday night, sometimes on a Friday night, but it's just not feasible in the week because obviously work and being up early. So moving forward, going to start creating more content just pre-recorded, and because there's a lot of films I want to talk about, different well, this is primarily a horror channel, bit of thriller thrown in. But yeah, I really want to sort of like start maybe releasing a video like maybe on a Monday and then maybe on a Wednesday, maybe even on like a Friday or a Saturday. Just get a regular upload, sort of timetable going on. And I really want to sort of break it down into like different categories. So really looking at like maybe on a Monday, I think I've described this in the previous video, but on a Monday, sort of taking a look at like a newish and like a newer like horror film or thriller from the last 12 months, and maybe on a Wednesday take a look at a movie that has kind of flew under the radar for me, either growing up or maybe just in the past 10 to 15 years, which I really should have seen. And then I do want to look and start really looking to investigating some giallos and really sort of like dig into the giallo scene, because I am just such a novice when it comes to the giallo movies, and when I hear some of the guys in the community talking, the knowledge is just incredible compared to mine, and always will be. But I'm always willing to like learn and discover new stuff. And obviously with giallo, it's Argento for me. He's the only guy I've really sort of checked out. Maybe a couple of Full Cheese, as I said in the previous video. But anyway, so this video today is going to be part of like movies that flew under the radar for me growing up. This is a movie that came out in 1994 when I was 18, and it's Tammy and the T-Rex. Now this is a movie that was totally flew under the radar for me. I didn't hear about this film until maybe 2 or 3 years ago. I remember maybe it was on the Sausage Factory, or maybe just in one of Piz's live streams that I was taking part in, and Tammy and the T-Rex was mentioned. I think it might have been getting a Blu-ray release, and I was just like, what is this movie? I've never even heard of this film. So obviously anyone watching this is probably, well, I would assume maybe have seen this film, maybe it was a decent hit in America, but because it came out in 94, this was kind of like during like just the dearth, if that's the correct word, of horror movies in America and the UK, and which is all the more surprising that I didn't pick it up at the time, because anything horror related at that time should have really stood out for me, because there wasn't really much being released. But for some reason this movie just completely flew right past me. And maybe in 94 I wasn't really, maybe I fell out of love with the horror scene slightly, because slasher films had all but dried up, and that was kind of like my bread and butter when it came to horror. So maybe that's why, maybe it was just Scream in 96 which kind of rejuvenated me personally. But yeah, so Tammy and the T-Rex 1994, this is an insane movie. This, I mean, to basically sum up, Paul Walker, yes, that Paul Walker of Fast and Furious fame, is killed by a lion, which is never really explained in the film. So let's go back to the start. Paul Walker, Denise Richards, obviously of Valentine fame and numerous other movies. I don't know if this was her first film, but my God, 23-year-old Denise Richards, if there's ever been a hotter woman in a movie than this, I'd be surprised, because in this movie she is just ridiculously hot. So her and Paul Walker, are getting it on together, but she's got an ex-boyfriend called Billy who's a bit psycho, He catches them. He proceeds to, attack Paul, and then they get split up in, in school after the fight breaks out. And I will say, going forward, there's quite a lot of. This is one of the campest horror films I've seen in quite some time. You've got grabbing by the balls. You've got just this, the campest best friend ever. The music, everything about this film is just so camp. But that's what makes the film so batshit crazy. It's ultra camp. It's ultra cheesy. The acting is, yeah. I mean, when Denise Richards and Paul Walker are in a room together, I mean, they're as wooden as a grand piano. It's how they were lucky that they managed to continue their careers after these performances, because these performances were not good. But yeah, moving forward, so Paul Walker continues to defy Billy and continues to see Tammy, who incidentally in the opening credits is referenced as Tanny, so they didn't even proofread the opening credits. Billy loses the plot again, proceeds to kidnap Paul Walker, whose name I think was Mike, and take him to what can only be described as some sort of wildlife reservation in the middle of some semi-rural part of the USA. I mean, we've got mountain lions, which obviously are native to America, but we've got like lions from Africa, we've got jaguars, we've got leopards, and it's never explained why they're all in this, well, I don't even know what you'd call it, like some sort of wildlife compound or something. So Paul Walker. I'll just call him Paul Walker. It's a lot easier than calling him Mike. Paul Walker is attacked by the lion, bitten around the throat by the looks of it, and is taken off to the local hospital where he spends his time in intensive care. Although there doesn't appear to be any wounds around his throat, which is rather strange considering he was mauled by a fucking lion. But anyway, let's fast forward. Paul Walker's brain ends up in a Tyrannosaurus Rex. Yeah, hence the title Tammy and the T-Rex. It's probably not best to go into too much detail as to how the T-Rex even came to be. It's a mechanical T-Rex. Paul Walker's brain ends up in the T-Rex. Go figure. And Paul Walker, as the T-Rex, basically goes and wreaks revenge on anyone who crossed him. And that's basically summing up, there's not really much more to it than that. I mean, I could go into a more detailed description of how the director wanted to express certain thoughts on, maybe society at the time, but let's not kid ourselves. None of that was going on with this film. I don't know how many drugs were taken by the cast and crew. The cast were probably taking drugs just to try and erase the memories of this film. The director must have been on some high-level cocaine, and the people who greenlit the movie must have been taking God knows what. But the movie was made, and it's glorious. It's a fun 85-minute movie where you see Paul Walker turn into a Tyrannosaurus Rex. Yeah, these aren't going to be in-depth movie discussions. This is not going to be like a Screen 5 post-mortem. These are just going to be quick 8, 9, 10-minute videos about films that pass me by in the day. And yeah, I'm just glad I found it. Thank you, YouTube community. If anyone's got any comments, please comment down below, or any other movies of that ilk from maybe well, not even that period, just anything like that batshit crazy movie which you think may have flew under my radar. Let me know in the comments underneath, and please like and subscribe, and I will catch you later. Bye.